So disordered eating is it's a term used to describe a variety of maybe skewed perceptions or fear of certain foods or of gaining weight, or many eating disordered individuals obviously have disordered eating, and while you may have disordered perceptions of eating that don't really negatively affect your health or your mental status, it can potentially. And so that's why it's important to if you're a parent concerned about your children or something, an individual particularly thinking about this, and you want to seek your physician, and the physician should ask you important questions, and you should ask yourself important questions like, how much is this affecting me? Am I binging every day? Is it something that is intervening in my life in a negative way? Is it impacting the way that I'm able to enjoy myself and enjoy life, essentially?
I think it's very interesting because it's not only, I find that now with the internet being as prevalent as it is, with the vision of the body being not only commercialized but just being everywhere in marketing, it's become such an issue that it's really hard to get away from it. And so it's the images of perfect airbrushed bodies coupled with the images of food. You know what I mean? It becomes this sort of disordered, schizophrenic almost mindset where you don't know which should you indulge or should you restrict. That's what it is. It's indulge or restrict. There's not the happy medium.
Right. But ultimately you should be a perfect person with a perfect body who's able to eat donuts and hamburgers and
exactly.
still be perfect.
Exactly.
And even though, however, you don't have an eating disorder, the disordered eating can be just as important to address. And I think a lot of people, I've seen, individuals with bulimia, and because they're not tiny, because they're not 100 pounds, because they're not even if they're overweight, they don't think it's serious because they're not very skinny. And what's the problem? I'm not, such and such, so many pounds.
So I can't possibly have a
an eating disorder, and I can't go to the doctor or I can't seek therapy because it's not that serious. Well, in fact, it is very serious. Even though you don't look like you're dying and wasting away, internally your body can really be suffering and really have some serious consequences in the future. So it's absolutely important to address, and to if you at all think that you're suffering from something or you're having difficulty with something. I mean, that's why there are registered dietitians, psychiatrists, therapists, and physicians, and
when is
medical doctors to seek.
Let's go back to this concept of restricting or restrictive eating, which again, there's probably so many different gradations of restricting. Do you want to take that on, the levels of it? Because I see in some ways just being on a quote unquote diet, not like a diet a diet to lose weight, as being restricting. And then I have another level of it in my mind of the actress who is sort of restrict, indulge. Like if you have a project, you restrict because you have to be camera thin, versus when you're off, you just do whatever you want. You work yourself back into shape.
Kind of always living in that all or nothing.
Right, and so for the average person, it would probably be around the holidays, that concept of you put on that holiday 10 pounds, and then New Year's Day, you're in the Bikram yoga, trying to, you know what I mean? So that is, because could that fall into the kind of disordered behavior?
It could. I mean, it could lead to that, and of course everybody experiences, oh my gosh, I just completely ate so much over Thanksgiving. And so this is a good example to weigh when you're asking yourself these questions of how serious is my disordered eating. For instance, if you only see yourself really, quote, binging at your birthday with your birthday cake, and just a couple times a year, and then being able to recover from that situation and that
physically
episode.
And psychologically.
Well, exactly, and more so psychologically, where it's not consuming your everyday, intake and mood, then you're
probably fine. You're probably
I mean, I think
average.
it's very normal.
Right.
I've actually never met someone who is 150% neutral around food, who's able to just approach every, meal with,
whatever.
right. I'm sure that people do exist, but it's very unusual because of all the stimulus around us.
Right,
you
and
know?
what the things that we attach to it.
Absolutely. But I think that's totally normal to feel yourself overeat a little bit, and I would put that within normal eating.
Right. Okay.
I would put that, some mindless eating popcorn at a movie theater because it's there and you like it. I would consider that normal eating.
When does it shift? When does it become something to look at?
Yeah,
Or just consider?
It's just going to change with everybody. I think it shifts when you start to think about it, honestly, when you start to notice it becoming a regular occurrence, and when you start to notice it really affecting the way that you're able to get through the day.